Hey everybody, today we're going to be showing you how to make a DIY hanging planter from wood you may have around your home. I had this left over from when I made a greenhouse last year, so we're going to show you how to make two matching DIY hanging planters. All you're going to need is basically 5 pieces. You're going to need to cut 5 pieces of wood, and I'm using wood from fence board, basically. Very, very inexpensive if you actually wanted to buy it, but if you may have it. And you're just going to need 5 lengths the same length. Now, the length doesn't really matter. It depends on how big you want to make these, so there's no standard thing. These are roughly about 1 foot, and then you're going to need 2 other pieces that you're going to cut the same size that are going to be a little bit smaller. And these are going to be forming the sides of your planter box. So what you're going to see, these are going to form the sides. And all we're going to do is screw this together. Simple. It'll literally take you 10 minutes to put the whole thing together. Okay, so your first step is to pre-drill your 4 first screws that you're going to put in. Now, because this is very thin board and you're using the end of the board, you may get some splitting, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to look a little rustic, and it's totally okay if you have a few little splits, not a big deal. We're just going to pre-drill here, just so the screws are already ready, and it's much easier to work, especially when things are wobbling around. Okay, so now you have your 4 pre-screwed in screws, and we're going to attach the first side. So we're going to make a little triangle at 90 degrees. And always remember with this DIY stuff, somebody once told me a good saying is that you're not building a piano, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So we're going to very gently screw in our first 2 guys. You don't got to countersink it because it will split the wood on the edge of the wood. So you got your first L. Now very simple, you'll just add your second guy. Okay, now that you have your bottom and your sides together, you're going to put on your long boards. And we're basically going to put 2 boards on either side. And you're going to screw in 4 screws on each board. Okay, so you're going to go nice and slow, pressing down on the board. Once again, you may get a little bit of split, so don't countersink. Okay, so now that you've done one side, we're going to basically flip around to the opposite side. We're going to take our 2 boards, just like we did before, placing them on, 4 screws in each, and you're almost done. Okay, so your second last step is to cut the holes for our chains that we have hanging on either side. And we're going to use a round bit. It's got a nice hole on either side. Okay, so your last step is to affix your hanging chain, and we're going to do it very simply. We're just going to wrap it around, and then you can either use wire. I'm going to use twine here just to tie each side, giving yourself a little bit of slack so that you can hang. Okay, so now your planter is done and you're ready to plant. So all you're going to basically need is you're going to need some good soil, and you're going to need a little bit of ground cloth. Once again, we had this left over when we did our last project, and all you're going to do is you're going to use this just to line the inside of your planter, pour your earth in, and then the plants, and you're done. Now you can tack your liner down with staples if you like. I'm not doing that. You know, the earth will hold it in place, and you're going to fill about 1/4 of this with your soil, and then you're going to put your plants in, fill the rest with your soil. And today we're going to be actually using a little bit of lavender and a little bit of rosemary. It's going to smell beautiful. You want to soften up the root ball a little bit so that the roots will come out nice and easy. I'm going to break up the root ball just slightly, loosen up the roots. And then you're going to place it in. So now we have our lavender in. Next we're going to move to our rosemary. Same thing, you got to break up that root ball, loosen it up a little bit, be gentle on the roots, but just a little bit, bring it away, and then she'll gently slide out of her pot. Okay, now that you have everybody in, you're gonna fill it up with a little bit of soil to make sure everybody's nice and secure. You're gonna pat everything down so everybody's nice and snug as a bug in a rug. And the only thing left is to hang it, water, and enjoy. So this looks like a good spot. All we gotta do is drill in a nice concrete screw and we're ready to hang, water it, and enjoy. Nice DIY hanging planter.